Welcome everyone, welcome back to another anime review. This is going to be on, I'm just going to shorten the title of this anime, Akashic Records. I believe that's like most memorable thing I can remember from the opening title, is that this anime was very, very enjoyable. It got me laughing and it got me on the edge of my seat, just like wondering what funny thing is gonna happen next. So the premise of this anime is that the main male protagonist, Glenn, is going to be a substitute magic teacher at this Imperial Magic School, whose name I can't remember right now, and that he's a very lazy sort of individual who doesn't really want to teach, and that his students are visibly getting frustrated with him, especially one of our main heroines that are introduced in this episode. And this episode does play on a lot of cliches and handles them in a fairly funny way. It's like the deconstruction of cliches. Like, they mention it, they parody it. It's just great fun. I heard that Konosuba did something very similar to this with its like funniness. Whether it plays off cliches, I have no idea. I've never seen Konosuba. I know it might be heresy for me not to watch that, alongside of me not seeing or having seen at least Boku no Hero Academia or Attack on Titan, but it just couldn't be helped since I didn't watch the first season of either of those. So it's like, what can you do, right? So, this anime was something I was kind of interested in from the descriptions of it, seeing that this main character is obviously going to be something different from the generic state of character who is the all around good guy. We get to see him make personal quirks towards the girls, he's annoying. We see him, he has a personality that he's lazy, and that he obviously doesn't stray far from it. He stays true to his character as he was first introduced, even at the end with him spouting off hilarious lines. He's all around the funny guy, and I think the main selling point of this anime, I didn't care too much for the fan service. It was there, it didn't get me hyped up or anything. I do have to mention that the uniforms for the girls in this anime is very interesting. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen the anime. Very interesting designs. I mean, even the main character was just like investigating, just like, saying, "Do I know you?" to one of the girls who's not the blonde-haired girl, I do believe. I think or was she orange-haired? I really don't remember. But anyways, it was very interesting. Plays on that as well, I would have to guess. And this episode was just great, a great introduction towards this anime. Now, it's nothing mind-blowing. It's nothing like, oh my god, this redefines the genre. It's a great fun watch that I think has a lot of things for me to talk about compared to some other like stuff that I could be talking about. But it's more worth for me to do reviews on anime that I can talk about instead of making things up on the spot. So this episode begins with an interesting little scene with the main character, I'm going to assume, reading a book about a heroic mage who defeats the demon, and there's a scene later of time progressing, and then we see a bloody hand and the scene ends. Now, obviously, hopefully this anime goes dark. So this anime kind of seems like your generic comedy slash harem thing of them going to that direction. But it seems to me that there's something dark. There's something that our main character is hiding. The reason why he's lazy, the reason why he doesn't want to take anything seriously, and whether he's actually hiding his true powers, whether he's actually a badass. As we can see him saying that he wanted to be a hero, like the mage of justice, and whether he's playing around like we see in this episode of him getting shocked, him being able to even do the basics of magic spells as everyone in the school is talking about. But hopefully that could be an interesting twist. Instead of him being just lazy just because he's lazy, there has to be some sort of motivation, because that's probably one of the big things. I don't usually review animes like this that only have comedy and there's like little snippets of interesting information about characters. Oh, this might become a major character arc. No. It's like there has to be something that makes me become attached to the characters, or has me drive me towards watching the series because I'm genuinely interested. Sure, this anime is all funs and games, so for people like me, or especially me who likes their plot heavy stuff, comedies aren't usually my thing to talk about, since there really isn't much for me to say. So it's kind of like a waste of time when I could be doing something else that has me put more effort into it. I'm not saying that this review isn't putting effort in it. It has me putting effort in it, but there's a certain line that I have to draw between what I want to review and watch and what I'm going to be watching on the sidelines. Kind of like Frame Arms Girl. There isn't really much for me to say about that show as a review, other than the fact that it's robot girls fighting each other. I mean, go watch it if you like funny stuff like that and cute girl designs. CGI might put you off, but yeah, whatever. But yeah, this anime really has my attention with how it did its deconstruction, its parody of parodies, of cliches, of tropes. It's such great fun. Like I enjoyed every moment of me watching it. The ending little duel had me thinking, oh, he was obviously going to lose, and of course he's gonna take it a little bit seriously, or he's gonna do something of that nature. Of course he kind of loses, but he kind of doesn't, since he basically calls it a stalemate and runs away, which is kind of hilarious. But the thing is, I would have probably dropped the anime if something like that unexpected didn't happen and the main character just loses, even after saying, I won't follow. Like, there was a locker room scene where he says, I won't get beaten up and run away and close my eyes and scream. That's the generic, what usually happens. I'm going to burn this, but he still gets knocked out. But it's kind of hilarious how he talks about it. And obviously, I would have immediately dropped it from what happened at the end if he did lose in such the regular cliche way as possible. But right here, he didn't lose as badly or as cliched as I kind of expected it to. So I'm kind of hoping that the anime continues this and throws curveballs at what we come to usually expect from scenes like this from a weak protagonist, or and the main character Glenn seems to be portraying himself as, or he's actually a badass hiding behind his badass skills. But it seems from flashbacks that he isn't really that special, considering how he was forced to essentially teach for some reason by one of the professors, who I guess is taking care of him as well. We also get to see a scene before when he gets challenged that there's this woman with white and she has such strange markings on her. So she could be responsible for murdering Glenn's parents or whatever happened in the very beginning of the episode, which I'm generally interested to see if he really is holding back. That'd be an interesting little twist that they do, is that he's actually a badass, and that the reason why he's laying low is because he kind of gave up all hope of being a badass hero, because this fox or demon or whatever chick that we see in this flashback could have killed his parents or something. Like, there has to be something there, as long with the stories of him wanting to be a major hero. For reading that book, that's obviously foreshadowing something bigger. Now, a big red flag for me is when these types of anime, whenever they do a sort of little like illustration at the end of the episode, I kind of get worried, because usually whenever I watch those types of anime, the anime isn't as good as I wanted it to be. It's either rushed, slow, or just falls apart as by the next episode or whatever as it goes on. So hopefully Akashic Records doesn't head that route, and it hopefully continues to play around with the tropes and kind of like in cliches and do something interesting and unexpected with them, with the main character. And I'm hoping to see that. Obviously, hopefully it gets a bit more serious. Obviously the genre shift might be a bit too much, but maybe if it does, like, I don't know if this has a manga or anything, or light novel. I need to check Mao again. I probably won't forget, but if it does get kind of serious, I would probably have this anime as a pretty decent watch, just for the fact that comedy is pretty on point. Just in my opinion, I don't know about you, but my taste in comedy is pretty subjective. I like dark humor a lot, so kind of has to be come to expect it from just a pessimist as me, right? Anyways, what do you guys think about the anime, this episode in general? And what are your hopes and downs? What do you think might put you off from the episode and from watching the series and dropping it? Because I almost dropped it at the end. I have to be honest, but yeah, that's about it for this review. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. It's also the main Twitter for the channel and my personal, so you can just hang out with me on there if you want. Also, I'll post updates. I also have a Patreon if you want to come support me on there. And that's about it. Raiyamo here, signing out. See y'all later.